Hi, welcome to Hilltop Adventist School's last Vespers program of the spring. This 2019-2020 school year has been challenging, and this last piece of it has been especially challenging. But the students have worked hard, they've accomplished their work, and as you will see, they've worked hard on this Vespers program as well. Because of the COVID-19 crisis, we have been unable to work together on things, so they have learned to work together remotely. You will find our program is less cohesive than normal, but I think you'll enjoy the songs and the stories. Please enjoy our Vespers program.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And the earth was waste and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, Let there be light, and there was light. And God saw the light that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, one day. And God said, Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. And there was evening, and there was morning, the second day. And God said, Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear, and it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas, and God saw that it was good. And God said, Let the earth put forth grass, herbs yielding seed, and fruit trees bearing fruit after their kind, wherein is the seed thereof, upon the earth, and it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, herbs yielding seed after their kind, and trees bearing fruit, wherein is the seed thereof, after their kind, and God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning, a third day. And God said, Let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days, and for years, and let them be for lights in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth, and it was so. And God made the two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness, and God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, a fourth day. And God said, Let the waters swarm with swarms of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. And God created the giant sea monsters, and every living creature that moveth, wherewith the waters swarmed, after their kind, and every winged bird after its kind, and God saw that it was good. And God blessed them saying, Be fruitful, and multiply on the earth. And there was evening, and there was morning, a fifth day. And God said, Let the earth bring forth living creatures after their kind, cattle, and creepy things, and beasts of the earth after their kind, and it was so. And God made the beasts of the earth after their kind, and the cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the ground after its kind, and God saw that it was good. And God said, Let make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. And God created man in his own image, male and female he created them. And God blessed them, and God said to them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over every living thing on the face of the earth. And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb yielding seed, and every tree in which is the fruit, to you it shall be food, and to every beast of the field, and bird of the heavens, and to every creepy thing that creepeth on the earth, and it was so. And the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day God finished his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day, and hallowed it, because that in it he rested from all his work which God had created and made.
This is the story of Noah's Ark. Noah's building the ark. The ark is done. The animals are getting on board. The angel shut the door, and the flood came. The birds are looking for land. The dove found an olive leaf. The flood is over. The angel opened the door. The animals are getting off. They built an altar. I am the one who will go against you. You? You will go against me? Yes, I will go against you. Am I a dog that you bring forth with a stick? I come in the name of God, and you come with your sword and your spear. But I come in the name of God. Your God doesn't exist anymore. My God will always exist forever. I'll kill you and I'll feed you to the beasts of the earth. I'll kill you and they'll have a bigger feast having your meat. Well, well, so bring on the fight. Up. David won. He defeated Goliath. Everyone attack!
Okay, once upon a time, David was answering God's call. He heard that King Saul needed a guy to knock down the big giant Goliath. Now, David is just an itty bitty man. Is he small compared to Goliath?
Mm-hmm.
How small?
This small.
That small. And where's Goliath? There's Goliath. He was very unsure and very scared.
He was?
Mm-hmm.
But he was afraid to kill him.
Mm-hmm. We're not there yet. So, King Saul asked David, do you mind killing the big giant for me? David said, I'll have to pray because that's a big giant. So Saul said, how about you change into my armor? Well, the armor just didn't fit David. It was too big for him because he was just a small guy. He was pretty young at the time. So King Saul said, that's okay, but how do you intend on killing the giant? David said, well, all I really have with me is my slingshot that I keep away wolves from my sheep because I am a shepherd. So David went out to go talk to the giant, Goliath. So Goliath goes, ha ha ha, to the really small David. He says, you can't do anything to me. And he mocked God, said God isn't going to do anything either. David knew that that wasn't right, so he prayed and said, Father God, please give me strength.
Please give me face.
To face my giants.
To face my giants.
So, Goliath said, you know what? I'm going to move my helmet because it got really hot. So, David wound his slingshot up.
Okay. Like this?
Mm-hmm.
See, I have it today.
And he aimed, and that giant went tumbling down. Oh my goodness, did David really do that?
Yeah.
With what?
With the slingshot.
And
In
God's strength.
God's face.
Yes. And the story of
David in
Goliath.
in Flowers the Giant.
Uh-huh. Facing his giants.
Facing his giants.
Okay.
Hey, neighbor, look at the stuff we brought back from the ride.
Neat! Let's see what you have.
Here the clones. We also have got some slaves.
I want to take one for Elisheba.
So Naaman took one of the girls that Jamal and Hussein had captured and gave her to Elisheba.
Oh, I will appreciate your help so very much.
I will be sure to work my best.
Mariah worked as hard as she could. One day, Mariah came into the room to help Elisheba, and she was crying.
Oh, what's the matter?
Oh, Father has leprosy.
It's too bad. He has leprosy and he will lose his position as the captain.
I know of someone who can help.
Help! Who can help?
The prophet Elisha in Israel, where I come from.
Israel? We are enemies with Israel. He might not want to help us.
I think it would be worth a shot, wouldn't it?
All right, I will talk to Naaman about it.
So Elisheba talked to Naaman and told him all that Mariah had told her.
Really? I will go at once.
Naaman hurried and grabbed his horse and chariot, and with some of his soldiers galloped as fast as he could to get to the prophet. When he got there was a messenger of Elisha's who opened the door.
Go and dip yourself in the Jordan River 7 times and you will get better.
The Jordan? Seriously? Why can't I dip in any other rivers that are clean? The Jordan is filthy. I won't do it.
Shouldn't you just try give it a shot?
All right, we'll see.
So Naaman went into the river and finally got in. He dipped in once, twice, all the way through to the 7th time.
Oh, look, my leprosy's all gone.
Thanks to me.
Naaman went back to Elisha's house and offered him a bunch of his money.
Yes, sir. I know there is no God in all the earth but in Israel. Please, I pray, take these gifts.
As the Lord lives, as I stand before him, I cannot take any of it.
Please, just take it.
No, I cannot. I will not take any of it. Go in peace.
Thank you.
So Naaman left, and everyone in the house of Naaman worshipped God and was happy again. The end.
A long time ago, there was King Darius. King Darius wanted Daniel to be in charge of the kingdom. But there were people that didn't like Daniel, so they tricked the king to make a law to only worship the king for 30 days. But Daniel prayed to God 3 times a day. People seen him and told the king. The king was sad because he had to put Daniel in the lion's den. The king couldn't sleep all night. He was thinking about Daniel, how they put him in the lion's den. Early in the morning, then the king went to the lion's den, and God shut the lion's mouth. The end.
In the city of Shushan in Persia, There was a Jew named Mordecai and his cousin Esther. One day after King Xerxes had banished his queen, he decreed that many young women should be taken to the palace, so he could choose a new queen. Esther was among those taken. Her cousin was worried about her safety, so he told her not to talk about their Jewish heritage. While Esther was in the king's harem waiting to be called, Haggai, the servant in charge of the king's harem, was pleased with her and gave her special treatment. When the king called her, he was pleased with her and made her his queen. Sometime later, King Xerxes gave Haman a seat of honor in his court. All the nobles bowed down to Haman, but Mordecai refused. Haman was mad at Mordecai, so he convinced the king to pass a decree that all the Jews in the Empire of Persia should be put to death. When Mordecai was told about it, he was greatly distressed. Esther was told that Mordecai was sitting by the gate, weeping with his clothes torn. She sent him new clothes and asked what was wrong. He told the servant about the decree and instructed Esther to beg the king for mercy. Queen Esther explained that even she could die if she went to the king uncalled. Mordecai said that maybe she became queen for such a time as this. Esther instructed Mordecai to have the Jews gather together and fast and pray for 3 days, and she and her maids would do likewise. On the 3rd day she would go before the king, and if she perished, she perished. King Xerxes was pleased to see her, and asked her what she wanted. She told him that she wanted him and Haman to come to her house that night for a banquet. He said that they would be there. After the banquet he asked her what she wanted. She said to come back the next night, and she would tell him then. Later that night the king couldn't sleep, so he asked to have someone read to him. He was reminded that Mordecai had saved his life, and he asked what had been done for him. Nothing. The king asked Haman what should be done for the man that the king delights to honor. Haman, thinking that he would be honored, suggested that this man wear the king's robes, a crown on his head, and that a prince should lead him around the city on one of the king's horses, proclaiming, "Thus shall it be done to the man that the king delights to honor." "Great," the king said. "You do it for Mordecai." Mordecai was honored, and Haman was mad. When they got to the banquet that night, the king again asked Esther what she wanted. Esther said that if she and her people were to be sold, she wouldn't say anything, but her people were to be killed, destroyed. The king asked who would dare to kill the queen. Queen Esther said one thing: Haman. The king was so upset that he went outside to think. While the king was gone, Haman pleaded with Queen Esther for his life. The king came back in and thought Haman was attacking Esther. He ordered the guard to take Haman away and hang him on the gallows that Haman had built for Mordecai. Queen Esther had saved the lives of her people, and she did it with God's help.
Thank you for watching our Vespers program here tonight. We're glad you enjoyed it, and we hope you keep an eye out for other things we do in the future, probably not now until fall. Let's close with prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for being with us no matter what the crisis is. Thank you for guiding us and helping us through this program. Be with the people who have watched it. Help them to have the blessings that come with it. Be with the students who created it. Bless them through the summer. And be with us all as we depart. Bring us back safely in the fall. In Jesus' name, amen.
The Lord bless thee, the Lord bless thee, and keep thee. The Lord make his face to shine upon thee. The Lord bless thee, the Lord bless thee, and keep thee.
The Lord